I talk about that kid with the 160 IQ in the front row because he's right, got it under my thumb. Like I started praising him when he was doing well, and he's like 180 degrees. He's like, yeah, it's really fun now. I
Turn off left hand shop there.
Oh. That's a great idea.
Catapult.
That's an awesome idea. Okay, you guys see this?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so please raise your hand if you have used one of those techniques. So those that I just talked about, operant conditioning, that kind of thing. Stop it. You are destroying your personal relationship with your students.
Meaning things you just admitted to doing? Okay.
Stop it. Don't you give those detentions.
Or what?
If you want to be a successful educator, according to William Glasser's theory, you need to stop thinking about getting kids to do what you want and figuring out what the kids want to do and helping them do that. That's his idea about choice theory, and he has applied that to education after quite some time. I want you guys, as we go through here, to go ahead and does everybody have a notebook or paper out, some pencils or anything? Do you have your notes materials with you? I want you guys to look. I've kind of highlighted some things in yellow, and that's kind of where I want your eyes to go with some of the information. I'll let you know if it's like an important point, but please feel free to take any notes that you think are pertinent here. First, a little bit about this wonderful man. He is.
He looks like a wonderful man.
Does he look like your wonderful grandpa? I think I'm going to show you a little clip at the end here, if I can get us both on YouTube of this guy. He's just a really sweet man. But he's been going at it for a long time. He was born in like my hometown area. I grew up in Medina, Ohio. He's from Cleveland. So I thought that was kind of cool. I know where Case Western is on it. He developed choice theory and has applied it to many different things, including marriage, management, education, and more, and has never taught
Just like, yeah, add it to your thing. You can write whatever you want. In a pen or something, you know? It's Friday.
That's right. It is a fun Freedom Friday. You can use a colored pencil today to take your notes. Write it in pink. Match the pink in presentation. If anybody recognizes this wonderful man.
Don Knotts.
Good try.
Do you not recognize this guy?
Oh, is that Skinner?
It is.
He's got a weird hairdo going on there.
Yeah.
Don't be this guy. I know he looks nice, but underneath it all, operant conditioning, that's bad news. That is trying to coerce your students to do something that you want them to do. That is not in line with positive relational behavior. Once again, Glasser has applied this to not only education, but to marriage and all kinds of things. So, this is the rewards punishment thing with Skinner, the extreme control. So, this is like the Board of Education applied to the seat of correction in the old days. That is the physical means of tattling, smacking him, and having that punishment for not complying with what the teacher had you do. Also, the gold star chart. My juniors actually asked me, please, Ms. Rohr, put up a gold star chart. I loved those. And I was like, what are you talking about? You're juniors in high school. And so they brought me in gold stars, and every so often, they're like, can I answer a question and get a gold star? Okay, but they have been trained to look for a reward. That gold star means success. That gold star means that they have earned something or learned something. They're looking for that kind of rewards because we're training them up from when they're young to respond to rewards and punishment instead of being directors of their own lives and understanding themselves. What Glasser said is that this does not work because no matter what you do, the student is going to take in all their options. They're going to think about the choices that you presented, the rewards and the punishments, and they're going to make their own choice about what they're going to do regardless of what you try to do. What he says is that it is unhealthy and impossible for you to think that you can influence anybody to make any choice outside of yourself. You should not try to influence other people and control other people. That is a destructive relational behavior. It's destructive in marriage, it's destructive in business, and it is destructive in the classroom. That's what Glasser has to say. So instead, you kind of need to flip the approach. You need to genuinely motivate your students, kind of like what you're talking about when you give them the opportunity in groups to be themselves. Of course, you're directing what they're doing in groups and stuff like that. But if you can help your learners be genuine learners, they're actually interested in what you're talking about. The mullet example was awesome. And I was actually just thinking about, I'm going to do that next year when we talk about doing model for the atom. But that actually genuinely motivated them to get involved. So your crazy class was like on it. They could tell you all about those different kinds of mullets, which was great. And he would love that. He said that was awesome. What's that? You gotta take your victories. Take them. So this is something that you should definitely write down. This is like the key point in this theory.
What if I don't want to?
That's fine.
I mean, what would Glasser say to that?
Say that again?
What if I don't want to take notes? What would Glasser say to that?
Okay, what do you want to take notes on?
No, it's just the note taking that I have a problem with. Not any particular subject here.
Alright, that's fine. Go ahead. Do you want to go get a steak from...
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I'm already hungry right now. Thinking about
Video
it. Yeah, video games are next.
Then when you're ready to learn, come on back to tutoring. I'd be glad to sit and talk with you. Okay. So what can we do as educators? Did you all get this written down? You all still need to write it. not place too much emphasis on how well students can regurgitate irrelevant information on tests. Memorization should not be the main focus of a student's education. I feel like we have successfully moved past that in education in America. For the most part, we do still put a lot of weight on student performance on tests, though. That's kind of like that's the staple of our system. How students perform on tests. We have changed the ACT. The science portion of the ACT isn't talking about how many chromosomes there are in human DNA. It's being able to interpret from a graph, like two different graphs or two different charts, doing scientific reasoning to evaluate if students can think scientifically, not if they can regurgitate scientific information. Okay, once again, no busy work. If you don't write anything else from the slide, no busy work. Classroom should be warm and supportive, not stale and sterile. Remember when we had that picture up here about where we had that classroom and it just had that orange wall and just a bunch of desks and everything was kind of focused towards the teacher? That's what he would say is not a conducive environment to learning. You should be clear and natural about your roles and their roles in the classroom. They should not be confused. You should come in as the facilitator every day. You're not allowed to come in and be boss one day and facilitator the next day. That's going to have confusion for your students. They're not going to know what to expect out of you or what your expectations are. You are lead teaching, not boss teaching. You don't force feed the information. You don't say, you're going to comply with this and you're going to learn this, or I'm going to write you up particularly your participation points. You want to get them interested in it. Like, in order to get my kids to think about bases, I talk to them about bat poop. Bat poop is one of the reasons why if you go into certain caves in Kentucky, you have to wear like gas masks
count on it.
Yeah.
There's a few teachers who use it at JCCC, but there's not been a whole push for the building yet. But like at East High School,
It's coming.
their whole school went to standard.
Yeah, their whole. That's what he was saying. Yeah, yeah,
Last year.
yeah.
I feel like Glassdoor might have a love-hate relationship with standards-based grading too, but maybe for a different reason. Because he'd be like, oh, there's all this emphasis on the tests, you know? But as long as it's not just regurgitation of information, he might be okay with it. Because what it does is the students have to choose to do that work. It enhances student choice and they start to see the result from their choices. And if they did their assignments, they see they do well on a test. I mean, having the reward there is a little, yes sir.
1 minute.
Thanks. Okay. These are 7 deadly habits versus 7 connecting habits. So, bad relational behavior, criticizing, blaming, complaining, nagging, threatening. And then these 2 are the ones that got me. Punishing, rewarding. That's what I talked about. So it would be these 2 that I would write down. Because that is stuff that like I go to. Okay. Punish or reward because that's kind of like how I was trained up too. To look for punishing and rewarding. Then over here with a good relational behavior, befriending. I was told don't make friends with your students. Don't do that. They're not supposed to be your friends. But he says do it. Do it. You're not going to be able to help them develop into positive individuals to make good choices if you are not in a role where they will listen to you. Where they will listen to you as a mentor. He has a couple things for establishing quality classrooms and how to put it all together. I basically, his last quote here, the only person whose behavior we can control is our own. That's the first of his 10 axioms of choice theory. He has a website about choice theory if you guys would like to learn more on your own. If you would like a copy of this PowerPoint presentation, I'd be happy to give it to you guys. Do you have any questions about Glasser or choice theory or how it applies to the classroom?
It's really similar to the guy that I talked about too, Cohen, really